Hey guys, it's Sunday morning. It's about 8:40. So I'm in here. I painted this 70 Firebird formula that we pretty much changed it over to a Trans Am. We changed the fenders and the hood out. So I'm in here today. I am wet sand and buffing it. So the customer opted for a machine sand and wet sand and buff to give it a finer finish. So it really didn't even need wet sand and buffing. I mean, it really came out nice. As you can see, this is code 26, 1970 GM Blue. And as you can see, I'm machine sanding it. I just got done. My process is I use DA 6-inch. I start out with 800 DA dry sand. I do a weird way. I do 1,000 grit dry after that. You have to make sure that you go over the 800 scratches very good with 1,000. Each process has to be done correctly. If you don't do it correctly, at the end of it, while you're buffing, the 800 scratches, you'll be fighting them for a few hours. So each step has to be done good. So when I 800 it, I make it nice and flat till the orange peel's pretty much gone, which this one had very little. And then I do 1,000 dry. And then I go Trizac 1,000 wet. I put a little bit of soap in my water. I wet down the pad, the Trizac pad, and then I go ahead and wet down the card, each panel, one at a time. I wanted to show it. I haven't squeegeed this one yet, the quarter. Just wanted to show you what it looks like. So now my next process, what I do is 1,500 wet sand. It's a very strange way of me doing it, but I started this at 8:20. As you can see, it's just now 9 o'clock. So this overall process, I'll probably have done in probably about 3 hours tops. That's buffing. Now I use a wool pad too on this. Now being that I do this in the booth, there's several reasons, there are 3 reasons right off the bat I can think of why I'm doing it in the booth. For one, tomorrow, every Monday, we clean out this booth very thoroughly. So I do not use a new wool pad. As you guys know, will create hair all over the place. So I use a good, clean, used pad. Second is because I have it on jack stands when I painted it. So that helps me buff it. You know, it's a little higher, probably about 10 inches higher. And also I have it all masked up. So I don't have to sling compound all over the engine bay or anything like that. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and wet sand it. What you wanna do when you 1,000 grit this, Trizac, remember I do the 800 dry, and then I do 1,000 dry, and then I use the Trizac wet sand. So you have to squeegee off the 1,000 Trizac, because if you don't, you'll get very tiny sand granules, which could affect when you wet sand. So my next step is to 1,500 this, squeegee it off real good, then I'll wipe it down and check for any fish eyes or anything I missed. And then I'll start the buffing process. So I'm sure it's gonna come out really good. Any questions, be sure and post them below. And also, be sure and subscribe. I'll come back in a little while once it's buffed, or when I start the buffing process to show you what it's gonna look like. So, see you in a bit. Okay guys, we are back. So for the next segment of my video, I basically wanted to show you, I know I mentioned earlier, you want to wipe it down and look for any tiny flaws that you might have missed. So this one came out very, very nice, very little dirt. I had a fisheye problem on the other side, possibly because I was doing the door jambs at the same time. I usually don't do that. I don't like doing door jambs at the same time. You never know if there's grease or oil or lithium or something inside there. So this one, a little fisheye problem on the right fender, but I got them all out. They were minor. So as you can see, this is what it's supposed to look like when it's completely wiped down, nice and flat. So very little orange peel, it's completely dull. And as you can see, I've already started the buffing process. I wanted to show you guys what it should look like completely done. So you want to use a rubbing compound, not a polishing compound. You want to cut it and not fight with it all day. So I am using a wool pad. So like I mentioned, and my handy spur here, which is probably 30 years old, but just a regular wool pad, not a new one. Like I mentioned earlier, you don't want hair all over the spray booth if you decide to do it in the spray booth. So we'll clean it out real good tomorrow. So I've been taking tips for you guys. So, you know, I wrote them down since I got so many. One of them is make sure you sand this clear as soon as possible. This is a high solids clear. High solids, if you let it dry for more than a few days, it is a bear to wet sand and buff. So I just did this yesterday. It's hard, but it's fully cured in a couple weeks. So you should get it as soon as possible. So I did the hood a couple days ago. We have yet to wet sand and buff it. We'll go out here and I'll show you that. As you can see, that's not wet sand and buffed yet, but we got those done. I'm gonna have my helper. He was supposed to come in today and help me do this car, but unfortunately he's too busy. So you can see this side's almost ready to buff, or is ready to buff. Wheel covers. I have a crap set of wheel covers. Always cover the wheels and tires when you're buffing. It helps on cleanup and detailing. You don't get any of that white compound and you know, in between the real fine grooves. And some tires are a real bear to clean. So might as well just use a crap set of wheel covers. That'll help you out. And also, as far as the soap goes, I mentioned earlier I added soap to my mixture of water. You don't have to add much. In fact, you add too much and your sandpaper won't cut as good. So I usually put, I got the, this is an excellent spray bottle, by the way. This is the best I've ever used. SprayMaster. I believe I got them at Lowe's, maybe Home Depot. One of those. One sells them and one doesn't. So you can also order them online. But those are excellent. I usually put about 5 drops of soap in there. Don't use bacterial soap. As far as your 1500, make sure you tri-fold it. I mentioned that in my other video. You want to tri-fold it just like this. You can use one section. Once it starts wearing down a little bit, you can switch. So you really got 3 sections to work with. Always keep your hand flat. That will also help cut down the orange peel. So, and for you people that, you know, some of you guys I'm sure aren't going to 800, 1,000 grit dry, 1,000 grit wet. Again, that's my process. But if you just want to simply 1500 it, keep that hand flat. You still want to get it just like this. Keeping your hand flat will really cut the orange peel down. You can see the real nice reflection off this. And also, I mentioned this in my other video too. Once you're almost done, especially when you're close to like door handles, circle sand. It makes it so easy, even in the big areas, circle sand. So when you do that, it makes it so much easier to cut with the buffing pad. Also, areas that you aren't working on and you know you aren't going to buff, paper them off. Saves you on cleaning up the car. You can see, if I didn't have this paper on here, you can see I did the fender edges at the same time. Actually, some of it did get underneath there, but I think that's just dust. I put it on after I started, once I was done dry sanding. So you want to do that in some of the areas. I kept the door jambs all masked up, or I'm sorry, inside. And of course, everything's stuck together, but all the paper's still in there. It's getting in the jam. I should have probably papered those off, but that'll wipe off real easy. So that'll help you out on detailing and everything. Also, when you're doing a car, I didn't do it on this one because I wanted to get going on this new segment, is when you're doing a car and you got it completely wet sanded, go ahead and start at the top. Start with the roof, whether it's a truck or whatever. Start with the roof. And the reason being is, if you do the sides, you do the hood, you do the deck, and then you come back and do the roof, you're gonna splatter compound all over the place. So, you know, do this first. So I usually start wet sanding on the roof first, and I will buff first on the roof. Just makes a nicer job. Less cleanup. It's all about time, getting them done quick. Right now, let's see, I started this about 8:20, and right now it's 10 after 10. So I hope to be done in a couple hours or so. And then tomorrow we'll polish it one more time, just a quick polish. It should come out very nice though with the wool pad. Foam pad would cut this too, but it'll probably take me another 45 minutes. So the wool pad does a real nice job. So I'll do the wool pad. I'll go to black foam pad and go nice and slow with the black polish, 6094 3M. And then I probably won't blue pad it today. So blue pad really does nothing, but the surface has to be perfect. All dull spots have to be gone, like there's one right there. So, you know, we'll let it cure tomorrow. This is Sunday, and I just want to get this buff. So I got another truck coming in tomorrow. So if you want to check out my website too, it is actually attitudecustompainting.com. And I'm known for mainly doing motorcycles. I do an occasional car, so you can check out my website. I do wear, for those of you that do a lot of cars and motorcycles, painting them, when you're buffing, you should wear an apron. So when you wear an apron, it keeps all the splatter off of you because you'll be in and out of the booth. So I normally average about 10 to 15 motorcycles a week, and usually maybe 2 cars a month. So I did a 65 Mustang last week. The guy completely prepped it himself. All I did was paint it for him. I sprayed the hood and deck lid off. And I had that done in about 2 days. So he picked it up. He's gonna buff it if he wants to. It came out very nice, baby blue color. And I got a F-150 Roush coming in tomorrow. So wanted to come in and get going on this. So I'll do one more video probably tomorrow once we're done with this. And you know, show you the outcome of this. So once it's down on the ground and out of the booth. So we'll see you soon. Thank you. Guys, here we are. It's Saturday. Customer's going to be picking up his Trans Am. His 70 Formula converted to a Trans Am. He'll be picking that up soon. So last segment for this video. Wanted to show you how it came out. You can see the reflection is very, very nice. We got the flares on. Got the mirrors back on. We have a scoop painted. We painted that white. He's going to be applying the decals. He already has the decal kit. So it came out very nice. Got the spoiler installed, all his moldings, bumper back on. Again, we're Attitude Custom Painting, so if you need any painting services, whether it's motorcycle or car or truck, let us know. So fairly quick turnaround. This one took us probably about 2.5 weeks to do. So we changed the fenders in the hood, so he wanted to convert it to a Trans Am, added the flares, bottom spoiler and everything. So it came out real nice. Be sure and subscribe below. And I appreciate you watching this video.